I want to introduce Bob Vinatieri. His course is Great Rivers of the West, the Columbia River. It is one session via Zoom on November 18th. As we are all going out and about and taking advantage of exploring new places, we are very pleased to have a Rhodes Scholar host to join us via Zoom from Portland. We are taking advantage of Zoom so that we can avail ourselves of his experience and expertise as he talks to us about the largest river system of the Pacific Northwest. Welcome, Bob.
Hi, thank you. And thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this wonderful lecture series. And I hope I can lend some information to a really nice part of Washington that's not around Bellingham. It's the other part of Washington. What we'll be talking about during the lecture, the Columbia, Great River of the West, I can just give you a little preview about what the lecture will cover. We're going to start by talking about the geography. Where did it start? Where does the water come from? How was the Columbia really created? Through fire and ice. I'll leave it at that, and we'll fill in those details later. But then we're going to talk a lot about the history of the area, both indigenous peoples and white explorers that came through. It wasn't just Lewis and Clark. There were quite a few British Canadian that came through. And so we'll talk a lot about that, as well as Fort Vancouver and some of the various forts that the British Canadians had along the Columbia River. We'll talk about some other notable people. Ronald McDonald, who has nothing to do with hamburgers, but he was quite an exciting character, was the first person to teach English in Japan. And we'll talk about his story. And Sam Hill, who helped open up the exploration of the Columbia to the folks who drive automobiles. We'll also talk about the resources involved with the Columbia River, how modern man is exploiting those resources, and we'll talk about things that have to do with sightseeing. So whenever we talk about specific things on the Columbia River, we'll also be giving you pointers about where to see it. So when we talk about, for example, the Hanford project, we'll talk about how you can go and view B reactor, the world's first large-scale nuclear reactor. We'll talk about the Chinook people and where you can actually go see a plank house that's been recreated that the Chinook people lived in for thousands of years. So I hope that gives you a little preview of what we'll be doing and talking about. Join me because it's a whole nother part of Washington that maybe you need to be refreshed on, or maybe that you've never visited. So hope you can join me in November for a nice 45 minutes or so that we talk. And then of course, there'll be lots of questions and answering that we'll do afterwards. So please join me.